couple things about me real quick to kind of give you my goalkeeping philosophy, what guides me in how I plan and execute goalkeeper sessions, as well as my model of play. First thing is what my training philosophy is with goalkeepers. So, young goalkeeper coach, I was doing things a certain way for a long time, and it seemed to be working. Developed some decent goalkeepers over my time, but I went to a coaching convention a while ago. Coach Chris Rich, he was at Duke at the time, was doing a goalkeeper session, and he basically he presented this information. He had statted every touch his goalkeeper had taken over the course of his 4 years while he was at Duke, and he came to the conclusion that 10% of his goalkeeper's touches was shot stopping. 90% was high balls, breakaways, and distribution. And he basically posed the question to the crowd, okay, how much of your training is 90% shot stopping and 10% everything else? So that really rocked my world in regards to how I was training goalkeepers. He's not saying 10% shot stopping, 90% everything else, but I try to operate with a little more of a 50-50 balance in regards to how I approach training with my goalkeepers. So you'll kind of see that a little bit today. The other thing is, the garage door theory is something that has modeled my goalkeeping philosophy, which is basically, there was a study done in 2008, 2009 in the EPL, and basically it was done by a goalkeeper, so it might be a little skewed, but every goal that occurred in the EPL, if the goalkeeper was in the right position at the time of the ball being struck, okay, that's a very lofty if, the ball traveled through a single wide garage door 92% of the time. So for me, like, if you can save the garage door 92% of the time, a normal save percentage is anywhere between 65 and 75%. So if you can, 92% of goals through the single wide garage door, if you can save the garage door, great. If you can pick out the upper corner, sweet. I need someone that's going to be really consistent inside the garage door. So that model, that's a lot of my shot stopping philosophy, okay? So both of those two things are that if you...
Can you define the garage door for us?
A single wide garage door?
Oh, that width.
Yeah, the width of a single wide garage door, yep.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. Good question. So, so for today's session, I know that not everyone here is goalkeepers, so I'm not going to go super in depth on the minute details of goalkeeping. If you want that, I've put my goalkeeper model of play on the Dropbox. You can check that out, ask me questions. But this session today is 3 different warm-ups that I use with my guys in preparation for what they're going to see in the session. So if I know they're going to be dealing with crossing and like just bombardment in the box, dealing with flank play, I'll do the middle session. If I know they're going to deal with just a normal session, just shots, and they're under it for 40 minutes because we're doing a shooting drill, we're going to do a different one. So this is more for coaches that may not have a goalkeeper coach in regards to the setup, but hopefully goalkeeper coaches can pick up on some of the nuances, some of the things that I try to set up. So a lot of little details in it, but it's really simple. So I'll try to articulate, communicate. Thankfully, I've got, good news and bad news. I've got really good goalkeepers, so they probably won't need a ton of coaching. The bad news is they probably won't need a ton of coaching, so they don't really make that many mistakes. They're quality kids, so it'll be fun. A couple of them have worked with me a lot, so it'll be good. So, all right, I'll get started. All right, guys, give me one guy in each of the grids. So this setup's super simple. I used to have it as a box. I've now opened the bottom just to create a little bit more distance. You can play with the dimensions how you see fit, but most of the time I want them ending on the line between the back 2 cones. So that's their goal in this setup, okay? So very simple setup. Jarrett, come up here on the balls for me. Okay, sweet. I'll be here, okay. So basically to start, I'll just have them start from one of the cones. So they'll start on one of the cones. I want their hips facing me to start. Once they get into the middle of the grid, go ahead, Blake, good, middle of the grid, just a ball to hands from me. Right as that ball comes back, it'll be a still ball from the outside just to give them 2 catches in one motion, not trying to tire their legs out in this, just getting them a couple reps. Then he'll go to another cone. Anywhere on the grid, he'll drop into his set, good. Ball to hands, go out wide. Yep, so let's just do this for a little bit. You guys get going, yep, go ahead, right on your own, good. Good, just wherever you start, good. Yep, good. A little quicker on the outside for me, a little bit faster, good, Blake. Drop in. Just getting them warm, getting them seeing the ball, still ball from the ground from my hands. Yep. Good. Good, and hold. Rotate, rotate, no problem, rotate. So Jared, come in, Blake, go over, good. Go over there, Blake. Jared, come in here for me. Come with me, good, no problem. So now same thing, but now I'm gonna have them start with their hips a little off-centered. So not facing the finisher, so now have your hips turned a little bit on each cone. So top two, slight angle, bottom two, go down in the green for me. Facing straight out, good. He's still getting to the same spot. Now I'm adding in a drop kick. So either a volley or a drop kick. So now he doesn't know how I'm gonna hit the ball the first ball. Second ball is now gonna be a rolling ball, so rolling away from the finisher, okay? Ready? Yep. Good. Set, get back in the spot, good. Good feet, stay on your feet, no diving yet. Good, yep. Good, no problem. Good, another one. Yep. So it can be either trying to trick him a little bit with my delivery, so he can't anticipate, can't guess. Good touch, up, up, up. Good, rotate, rotate. Okay, so now I'll have them start from one of the cones, same thing we've been doing. You can have them start from the spaces if you want. I usually put numbers to the spaces because the cones are colored, but I'll have them start from spaces now. He'll drop in, it's gonna be a collapse dive to the outside. So basically he'll drop in, take it to the outside, good. He'll pop up, back, recover into his space. Now rolling ball driven on the ground. So he can take it for a front smother. So now introducing different sights, seeing the ball a little bit differently. Ready? So you're going to the outside. Yep, you're going to the outside. Yep, yep, always left here. Yep. Good, up, balance. Good. He can go early. I want him to hit the ground. This is just getting him to hit the ground a little bit. Yep. Good, good. Recover. It's okay, recover up. Good, no problem, good. Next one more. Yep, drop. Good. So one of the more common movements, hold after this one, one of the more common movements goalkeepers face is dropping into their goal. Obviously, if your team has possession, they're having to recover to their goal if they're well connected. So I would actually encourage Christian to drop a little deeper before the first ball, so he's getting used to dropping into his set, okay? So now, what I'll have him do is I'll have them start, rotate, rotate, rotate. I'll have them start on the outside cones. So Blake, start on the red. Where's Tressler? Come here. So he's gonna be facing away. This is for the first ball now. Tressler, when I say go, we'll both go at the same time. So Christian will be facing out, good. When I say go, they're not allowed to look yet, but they have to check their shoulder, see what color cone that Tressler pulls up, identifying what's on their weak side of their goal. They'll have to touch that cone, and then they'll get set, ball for me. It can be anything in the body out of a volley. Second ball will be a low hand save. So basically here, I'll walk through it. This is a lot. Okay, ready? We'll just do Blake for right now. Go. He looks over, good. Touch, can be a low ball. Yep, it's tricky. Now he's gonna have a low hand. So now on this one, stay here. So on this second ball, I've actually created a goal between the red and the blue. And the shooter is now trying to score on the ground between the red and the blue. So now I'm starting to introduce low hands into the warm-up. Also, still trying to trick him a little bit with that first ball. A lot of the stuff I do is reactionary and warm-up, okay? So let's get a couple reps on it. Don't cheat, don't look over your shoulder until I say go. Keep facing out, good. Ready, go. Good, set, good save, good, good. Stay balanced, okay, Christian, good. One more, yep, stay on the outside, good, one more. Just so you can see the rep. Yep. Good. Good, hand down, good, no problem, good. Rest, rotate, rotate. Okay, shooters come behind now. Jared, ball in your hands. Okay, so now I'll transition into having to see the ball through traffic. So now they've seen a ball to their hands, they've seen a front smother, they've seen a low hand. Now I'm gonna transition into one-touch finishing through traffic, okay? So basically, I'll stand like this. Blake, actually hop in here, you know this one. Good. So Blake knows he's got to roll it through my legs. So Austin's right-footed. I'll set up on this side a little bit. So I'll say outside color, blue. He'll roll it, touch the blue. Now he's got to see it through me and deal with it. So either front smother, low hand. He's just trying to see the ball through traffic at this point, still in this warm-up, right? As he makes that save, I want him to get above the top 2 cones. And when he says away, it starts the action. So he says away, he drops, I simulate a header with my fist. So now I'm creating that moment on delivery. They say away, simulating what it looks like to head the ball. I'm not going to ask my goalkeepers to toss it up and head it themselves because we all know how that would go. So they're much better with the back of their feet than they are with their head. So, okay, go ahead, back over there. Good, ball, yeah, I need a ball, you got a ball, good. We'll go at the same time. We'll go at the same time.
It could be either side.
Could be anything. So now it's all reactionary, they gotta be able to react. Ready? Green. Good. Up, start up, away. Say away. Yep. Good. Good save. Good. So then we set up again. You understand now? Okay, okay. Good. We'll go again. Now he understands. Ready? Go. Blue. Good. Up.
Wait.
Good. 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 So just reaction. Okay, rotate. So now second one, same thing. One addition that I'll change to this. Blake, come back over here. One addition I'll change to this is the concept of a second ball or a breakaway. So now, or deflections. So now as I call the color, same concept. I'll say orange, he'll roll the ball. Austin will hit it right at me, and I'll either deflect it, or, play back to me, or I kill it, and he would attack it with his hands like it's a knockdown ball, or he's back there. I played a little bit towards Austin, my server. He would come and he would be big, K-save, or he'd go to hands first. So trying to create the breakaway moment with that set from me. The second ball is the same, still dealing with the header. We have some variations that I do with the headers, and I'll go over that in a second, but we'll let him do a couple of these reps first. Ready? You guys ready? Green. Good, so sometimes I don't hit it, sometimes I do, it's just visual stimulation. Ready? Good, keep us fed with balls, Tressa, for me, okay? You guys ready? Blue. Go get it, good, no problem, good. Sometimes it gets in the way. That's a bad touch for me. Sorry, that's on me, guys. I was a goalkeeper, unfortunately, even though I think I'm a forward. Okay, so now if I had the second ball in, which sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. So the ball's gone through, he's made the save, he gets high. So look, watch the second part. So he gets high, he says away. Say away. If I toss it up, he knows it's gonna be a header. It's something we do. The ball dictates a lot of what we do, so I try to make that for the goalkeepers very relevant. If I drop it down to the side, I'm just creating that moment for him to come to the ball and be as big as he can. So I'm just trying to have him see those moments, because even if you say away, it doesn't mean your defenders get it away. Sometimes it gets knocked down in front of you. You've got to either attack it or you've got to come and be big for that second ball. Does that make sense? So I'm trying to recreate those game moments in my warm-up so when they step into it, they're ready to go. Any questions about some of that stuff? Guys good? Okay. All right, I'm going to transition to high balls. I need balls here and balls on the red cone, please. I'll have you guys on the red, and Austin, you'll be with me over here to start. Yes. Woof. That's usually a 15 to 18 minute warm up, but usually I do like 4 to 5 reps. If they're hitting the ground a lot, 2 to 3. Just trying to be cognizant. I'm not necessarily. It depends. Is it fitness? Am I trying to get fitness out of it? So I might make it a little more taxing, or am I trying to just get them seeing the ball because I only have 10 minutes to get them ready, right? A couple things that I would add in there. Sometimes I can make the goalkeeper switch. If I just say switch, they just have to change. And if you notice, the colors are all in different spots. So they can't memorize it. They have to actually analyze the situation they're stepping into and react to what I'm saying or the colors that they see, right? Other ways, I can call 2 colors at one time. I can say blue, red. They have to touch both if I'm trying to get a little more fitness in. If I say numbers, I can assign a number to a space. So colors and numbers. I'm just trying to stimulate their brain, getting them ready, because in goal, there's so many things happening in front of you. You have to be able to like take pictures, input information, or take in information really quickly. And then sometimes I'll even have them start from the ground. So I think a lost art in goalkeeping is how do you get up? So you just made a save, how quickly can you get up? So I try to train that a bit in like, they'll start from on the ground, okay? Now transitioning to high balls. So Christian and Jarrett come out here for me. So Christian and Jarrett will be passive pressure. They're like standing mannequins basically. So you guys can move a little bit closer. So Blake will start on the orange cones. For me, he'll just do some sort of footwork. I'll create some sort of footwork for him. On the orange cones, he's always attacking the high ball. On the green cones, it's going over his head, so he's having to track it. So I usually try to put it somewhere where the guys are. Don't just stand there and don't hit them. You're just kind of moving in the space, okay? So the first rep would look like he goes through, ball comes up, he's just taking as high as he can. Right after the first rep, sometimes I add in a shot. If I do, he'd drop into between the green and orange, so in between. And now he's seeing a shot through traffic, so these guys are playing a little bit of dodgeball. So I love incorporating traffic into my sessions because I think having to see through defenders, if your defenders are doing the right things, they're probably trying to block shots, right? So I'm trying to create those moments as best I can, okay? So then if he was on the green, if he goes through the green, yep, go ahead. I'd put it over him, so he's got to track it, good. Get a touch, he'd give it back to me, he'd recover, he'd be balanced, and then he'd see a shot through traffic. And those guys are just playing dodgeball, okay? So we'll go through that a little bit. Let's do a couple reps. Rotate, Jared, you're in. So we'll do orange and then green. So you do 2 high balls, then a shot. Got it? Okay. Just doesn't matter. Just go through it like you're just slalom through it. Okay? No problem. Ready? Yep. Attacking the ball forward, good in traffic, catching high, recovering, good. Nope, green, yep, good. Sorry, I didn't explain it well enough. That's on me. Orange, then green. So 2 high balls, then the shot. So now come to green. Yep, ready? Yep, good. Over you, good. Tracking it negative, getting it high, good. Recovering into the space, shot. Good. Christian, hop in there. Good. Ready, go. Through the orange, through the orange. Good. Tracking it, good. A little bit more straight out, no problem. Green now, good. Green now, yep. Come to the green, good. Over you now, tracking it negative, well done. Recover, balance, see through traffic. Good, no problem. Rotate back in, Blake. If I've got guys that I've coached before and they know what's going on, sometimes I'll add a third ball. So let's say I'm one of the goalkeepers that's passive pressure. After the first high ball, just toss him a high ball. Austin, good. He comes and gets it. Good, gets it high, puts it back. He'll start high now. Same thing I did over here. He'll start high, he'll say away. And now I'm simulating the header as one of the guys that was passive pressure, and then I'd add a shot. So seeing headers, being able to deal with those, being balanced on that delivery when you say away, dropping to your line to give you more time, really important in training high balls. So that'll be the first one, okay? So now also I'll add in, sorry, it's a lot of information, guys. I'm really sorry, throwing a lot at you. So this one I'll do a little bit of flank play. So now, after the high ball, he'll catch the ball, good. Attack it, good, no problem, good. One of these guys would pop out. Jared, pop out there for me, good. I'll take the ball. He'll come and now he's got to deal with this decision, okay? So now I've gotten in, I'm a winger, gotten in, now he's got to handle this moment. So I'm either trying to play Christian, stay there, stay. So he can pick it off. He's got to protect the space behind his center back. That's one of our things. He's got to protect the inside of that 6. Or I'm going to cut it back and he's going to have to deal. So this is the first frame. He's going to have to deal with the second frame. So first one, he's dealing with the first frame. He picks it off, no problem. Third moment would be a shot from up top. Now, let's say I cut it back. He's dealing with the second frame. So he's just readjusting, making sure he's still centered in his goal and dealing with the cutback on that moment. If I had another guy, I would send him all the way far, or I would send Christian far back. So that's third frame. That would be if it's not inside the 6, and he's got to get across his goal, be balanced, make a save. So first frame, second frame, third frame. You can do that in training, in the flow of training, okay? There's a fourth frame, but I'm not going to get into that. See if there's any, where's my notes? Let's actually do a couple of those reps. Go ahead and get it going. Austin, we'll do, we'll do first frame, dealing with that. So you got to pop out after he goes. Third ball's from Glauber. Got it? High ball first, yep. So you pick whatever high ball. Actually, Austin, call the color you want him to do. Good. Let's throw it over him. Good. He's got to track it. Good, no problem. Recovers. He's got to get to the post, deal with this moment. Good, so pick it off. Good. Now drop back into his goal. Now a third ball. Good. So I'm trying to create multiple moments for the goalkeeper to deal with without crushing his legs. Does that make sense? And trying to create those scenarios. Keep going. Go again. Switch out. Jared, you're in. Go ahead. Good.
Orange.
A little earlier. Good. Good. Get to that first post. Transfer hop, or good. Christian hop out. Good. Good. No problem. Good. Good moment. Good. So that's actually a good coaching moment. I love that. I love that from Christian. Christian, come back here. I like that moment. I actually don't mind the decision that Jared just made to come. Usually, if that's the moment I'm trying to create in training, as that ball gets played, I actually take a touch a little bit towards him. Now I'm creating that moment where he can come. If I'm just trying to create a one-touch finish, I actually want him to stay and just react. That might not be how he handles it in the game, but if I can speed up that moment for them, that really helps them transition when it's a little bit further out, not hit quite as fast, as tight. Does that make sense? Okay. All right, let's get the balls right here. You guys get a quick sip of water while we're getting set up. Yeah, we'll put them all right here. Yep, no problem. So a couple things you can do extra on that. You can add punching. Like, so sometimes one of my rules, if I'm doing like actually delivering from wide, if they're going into traffic, I actually want them to work on their punching. So when they punch, their priority in order is high, wide, far. High gives you time, wide is not a dangerous space, and far is obviously the best from your goal, right? If you have to have one of those, high first. Gives you time, gives us time to get behind the ball, no problem. If you can only have two, it's high and wide, because that's outside of the frame of the goal. You could deal with, now you're dealing with the delivery, not just the finish, right? And then if you can do all three, great. The other things I'll add into that is a push. So let's say it's overhead. Instead of being able to catch it, moving negative, I'll have them push it. All you got to do is get contact sometimes. Just throw the guy off that's behind you trying to finish it. As well as, and then I can add in deflections as well for the guys playing dodgeball. Does that make sense? So like just dealing with those moments. So now we're going to get into a little bit of just goalkeeper activation for distribution. So a lot of what I teach my guys is first touch gives you freedom. So first touch away from pressure. So let's go Christian on the balls right here. Jared, go to the far green. Blake, go to the orange for me. You be the back post. You be the back stick. Okay. Now, thankfully for me, I've got awesome coaches here. I've got the numbers. You can do this with one person. I usually do it with two in the middle because it forces my goalkeepers to open up to the entire field. So basically, on Blake's drop, he's asking for the ball. He's going to drop a little bit towards the ball. He's also, because he knows there's a rule, he's got to show the guy passing to him where he wants it with an open hand. Okay, so he can see that. So he'll open his hand. He wants it on his front foot. Oh, so as that ball is being played, either me or Glauber, Coach Glauber, move down. Either one of us can press. So if I go, play the ball, his first touch is away from me. He's just playing it to the other side. It's always going to the other side, okay? If Glauber goes, ball comes in, he takes his touch back towards where it came from, a little change of direction just to get it over to the other side. I don't encourage that from goalkeepers. I don't want them Cruyffing inside the 18, but it's just first touch training, getting it to the other side. If both of us go, one touch back. So that's just like pressure's in your face. You don't have time to take a touch. Just play back. If we both stay, play the ball. He takes his time, cool, calm, collected, gets it there. Okay? Can you hop in for me? So the further I push Glauber out, the more open he has to receive the ball, because a lot of goalkeepers close their hips when they receive the ball. So I need him to open. So, yep, go ahead. When you open, we'll play. Go ahead. Get a couple reps in. Good. So both are coming. He knows. He's got to go back. No problem. So now I'm keep going. Yeah, just keep getting as many reps in as you can. So as they're going, as they're playing, they know, okay, the pressure associated dictates the touch. So this is something I do in my game warm-up. It's a great thing for my goalkeepers on game day. It's not a ton of distribution in regards to smacking a ball. It's all first touch stuff. So like, how do they handle it under pressure? Now, we're not a team that builds out in our own 18, but they still have to be able to do this. They still have to be able to play with their feet. Modern day goalkeeper, right? So good coming back, no problem. So if it's only one, hold the next ball. Let me in there, Glover. You guys back out. If you only got one guy, maybe you only have 3 goalkeepers, one guy working with them, you can do it with just one coach. So now as that ball comes in, if my initial step is this way, he knows the pressure's coming from this side, he's got to take it across. If my step is this way, pressure's coming from this side, he goes that way. No problem. If I go towards him, one touch back, and if I stay, he's got plenty of time to get it from one side to the other, okay? Let's see one of the young guys hop in. Go ahead, Christian, hop in there. Good. So, yep, we'll get a couple reps. Go ahead, yep. So now he knows. It's just activating that first touch, getting him some reps, not under a ton of pressure. We can make it tighter, we can make it bigger if we want. Yep. Good. Oh, so I went this way, so your first touch would actually take you back away from me because I'm almost like I'm pressing here. Yeah, does that make sense? Okay. If I come straight to you, that's one touch back. Got it? Yep. So there's no time. He knows he has to play one touch. So obviously the cleanliness of this, he would be more comfortable the more he does this with me. Yep, go ahead. Good. Good, no problem, good. So rotate back, come back in here, Blake. So some adaptations I'll do to this. Sometimes I'll have Blake starting facing this way. Come here, yep. So he has no clue what's going on. He has to open up early to see the field. If I've got 2 guys pressing, he's really got to open his hips. I try to make this a little more challenging. He can't open until the ball's being played. If the ball's played slow, he's got to go to it to then take his first touch based on that. The ball's played fast, he has a little bit more time, so it's just, can you take the touch in the right direction? So want a couple of these reps to look like this. Ready? When you go, you go. Yep. Good. So obviously with 2 guys, it makes it a lot harder for him to see, but if you don't have 2 guys, you can do it with 1. Other ways, you guys hop back in, keep going. Some other things I've done with this, if I want to do a little bit longer, you guys keep playing. There's some other things that I do with this is I'll add a third line ball. So I personally don't like a second line ball. I don't want guys clipping it into outside backs because it's got to be perfect and it's got to be like that guy's touches has to be perfect for you not to be under pressure. That's a very college game specific thing for me because college you can sub and everyone's fresh to press. So I don't love a second layer ball, but I do like a third layer. So if I was doing third layer stuff, I would put a big goal and I would ask them to try to hit it in the air instead of playing it to the other center back in this scenario. But all right, guys, you guys are good. Thank you. You guys can wrap it up. Awesome, good stuff, guys. I try to get through that quick. 10:50. I was done before 11, big time. Any questions? Try to speed through it. Honestly, usually I'll do when I do that. If I know the opponent that's upcoming, if I know they're going to deal with more high balls, I'll probably incorporate high balls into that. If I know we're gonna play against a team that likes getting behind, I'll create that moment. But yeah, the color cones is something I get made fun of a lot, but it's definitely I love it. It's so simple, but you can build off it in a lot of different ways. So yeah, I love that. But yeah, I think that's a positioning question. So for me, I prioritize seeing the ball being struck over your positioning in your goal. So like you may be in the center in the right spot in your goal, but if you can't see the ball being struck, you're taking away half your reaction time, which you don't have a lot of that anyway. So if I'm trying to see the pole and Coach Araby right here is like in my way, that's where the ball's being struck. I'm okay being out of position in my goal so I can see it, so I can see the ball. So I would say I prioritize seeing it being struck over your position. That's how I would phrase that. And I think that kind of alludes to the question you're asking, which like, yeah, my garage door is now shifted, but if I'm behind it, I can't see it till it passes him. So that makes it really difficult because now I have half the time to react. So if I can see it, I've got the full time. I may give up a little bit more on the side, but at least I can see it. Does that make sense? So that's kind of, yeah, that's the concept that I work on with those guys.